Okay, and I'm back. Kinda. Somewhat. Hopefully. Yeah, that crash happened. Not sure what happened there exactly, but yeah, I'm definitely back. And as soon as everything else has started up again, I will start the stream again. Ignore that freaking timer right now. Let's actually hide it for now. Yeah. Sorry? While I'm waiting for everything to start back up, let me quickly post the actual formula for damage resistance. Essentially, the damage you take divided by opening bracket 1 plus the damage resistance you have from all sources combined divided by 100. So, yeah, every full 100 points, the divider for the base damage increases by 1. And when you have 100 points, the divisor is a total of 2, meaning you take half damage. If you have 200 points of damage resistance, the divider is 3, meaning you take a third of the damage. And if you have 300 points, the divider is 4, so you take a quarter of the damage. But usually it's almost impossible to get above 100 points, so yeah. And I think everything is back up, so let's start the freaking game. And the webcam, assuming it is willing to go live again. Yeah. Not sure why the webcam isn't active. It does show us on. And there we go. Just had to refresh it. And yeah, after that crash, welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda, the Modded Insanity playthrough. I'm your host Razul, and I'm hoping you'll have a lot of fun going with me through the Nexus, doing the side quests, and then going back to EOS and murdering stuff. I primarily intend to use this, essentially the rest of the day today, to do side quests, farm materials, get experience, maybe a couple level ups, and just, yeah, get everything prepared so that maybe, hopefully, we find enough materials, or at least or enough cash to buy the materials. Maybe even, yeah, maybe we'll even get lucky and dang the forward face, and be able to craft the first couple pieces of armor. Unfortunately, I'll be forced to play with that until I get back to the Tempest, which means I'll be going back to the Tempest first to fix that freaking face. And then I'm coming back to the Nexus. And welcome back, Merlin. Or Merlin, or whatever. Let's see, do we have better orcs to buy this time?
Hello there. Hi.
They do refresh every time restart the game or stuff like that, so yeah. Unfortunately, there is no kinetic coil among them. Well, as you can see, I removed the mod, so now shields are the mods and the augmentations are back to the default values. Biotic recharge speed, power force, power damage to shields. That might actually be interesting for us. General tech power damage, tech power recharge speed. Armor damage. Combat. Yeah, not really anything I need. Does she have different inventory than the store next to her?
Just use the console to have a look-see at what I've got on hand. Hope you find something you like.
You got it. Shop till you...
Oh, I like you.
Nope, same store. I was hoping that it was, the game actually plays 2 stores there for some reason, but didn't really think that would be the case, but yeah. Hope that's last. So yeah, as I said earlier, today for the rest of the day, we'll be doing side quests, farming materials, hopefully getting a level up or 2, and ideally doing a ton of combat, but not actually doing main missions or missions that'll have an impact on the main storyline. Assuming I can keep them apart. I did play through the game a couple times, so it should work out.
Wanted to check in with you.
And we are fixed. And even if Cora loves to get back to me, actually, screw the Nexus. I just wanna have fun, so let's go back to years and kill stuff. Especially now that I got better skills. Oh, and Merlin, did you have a chance to look over the build I sent you? Both the chat version and the showcase? Yeah, for now, I guess that's what we're stuck with. But I can swap these. I want Ignite, or Incinerate or whatever, and he's a melee dude. Do I have anyone that can detonate already? Well, I guess I'm taking him along as well, so at least you've got a couple primers around that are decently tough.
Descent is green.
Coordinating. Path is calm.
I should also swap to the other armor. Forgot about that. We had the armor on for the better prices. But more experience and a little bit more weapon damage is probably more along the lines of what we need right now. There's a quest, I don't care about quests, I wanna kill stuff. Yeah, we unlocked the full map now. I hope. Actually, we didn't. There is no stations to be deployed. So yeah, where do you wanna go? Actually, let's see if that cat base there is once again full of many enemies. And maybe drive the way? Yeah, let's drive the way. Hope we'll find nice stuff to blow up. Yeah, I am streaming in 720p in order to reduce buffering as much as possible, since transposing and the other performance increasing options, yeah, well, essentially you don't get them until your Twitch partner or something. But yeah.
You must have enjoyed the Turians falling into the First Contact War.
Which war? Sorry, kid, I know that was a big deal for humans, but honestly, I've had indigestion last longer.
So, is this base manned again? If not, then we'll go down there and kill stuff down there. Nope, still everyone left. So, I think there's a cat something over there, yep. Anyone home?
God damn it. One of our shuttles ahead.
Worth checking, if only to make sure the cat don't get to keep it.
In that case, check it out.
Got a component for Site-2's project.
Nothing else. Not even proper loot. And yeah, I did check the more distant parts earlier. Well, earlier is not quite the right term. In a different playthrough. That's side 2.
Approaching Site 2. Resilience.
It was sold as the one we get right. PB's tech looks like.
Is
I like busting
there
dooms. Get
anything of interest around here?
all 6 wheels off the ground.
We're outfitted best we can be.
Planet after planet wears tech down in different ways. I usually end up walking.
Well, that is a lot of variation. Guess I'm not going that way.
Strange how bleeding for a place makes it feel worthwhile.
Our people came a long way. Nothing here will stop them.
Seems less harsh than when we first landed. Maybe I'm just getting used to it.
Wasn't there some loot around here? Well, apparently not. Yeah, sorry to hear that the internet isn't working out for you. I hope you still had fun. At least while it lasted. Yeah, looks like my planner getting shot to hell as well. We can't go to any of the interesting sites. Let's recharge our life support. Mine is also recharged, okay. Guess we won't be fighting Cat then. Or at least not down here.
I suppose you've seen this sort of thing before.
All new to me.
Nothing
I
have
thought you
low
had 1,000
over
years
there
of
either.
experience.
It's a new galaxy. Better hope you and your Pathfinder figure it out.
Nothing to fight here. Dang it. I want combat. Well, let's try the other area then, I guess. Assuming we won't die instantly to radiation. Yep, as I suspected, the moment we'll even attempt to leave the area around the outpost, we die. So, yeah. That's not gonna happen. Meaning we kinda have to do the tiny missions. Back on the Nexus.
Ascent is go.
Leaving Atmo. All clear.
Well, Cora wanted to talk to us, or to me, whatever.
So this is what you and Ryder do for fun. Explore weird vaults that try to kill you.
We fly into space clouds that try to kill us too. I deserve a raise.
Whoops. Looks like our Pyjack friend got out of his cage. He'll be fine. Won't he? The exercise will probably do him good.
Report from the Nexus. Population's growing as people wake up. Lots of hopefuls waiting for a home.
Bradley will have all the help he can take.
They'll be starting crops soon. Can't tell if they have enough water or too much. I grew up on a little cargo freighter. Only saw gardens in vids, but I always loved them. I daydreamed about planting a big rose garden when we got here and still imagine it sometimes. Roses in Helios.
It'd be good to bring something beautiful across galaxies.
Everyone in the initiative has their something beautiful. I didn't for a while. After I left the Asari Commandos, well, I didn't leave. My mentor, Nasira, said I should go.
Why?
The initiative would suit you better, was all she said. Being a huntress suited me fine, but she insisted.
Wow, you fight side by side, then she gives you the brush off?
It hurt. One big kick out of the nest. Still, That's familiar. When your biotics are honed into Huntress-grade weapons, people can be weird about it. The initiative seemed better. Just didn't see how I'd fit into their brave new galaxy. I never fit anywhere before. Then I met some jerk named Ryder. Talked about traveling to Andromeda like he was teaching you how to see it.
What part of that vision made you want to take the plunge?
A civilization where everyone had a place, even AI, or an overpowered human biotic. Your father said, I get being different. Now imagine being welcome and making others like you welcome too. When I was 13, I could warp a steel girder. He made me wonder, what if someone had told me that's okay?
He gave you a dream to work toward. He was good at that.
Who doesn't want to belong? Especially somewhere like the Initiative. So I gave the Initiative my all. Kept thinking of the niche I wanted. My rose garden. I thought I knew what I was going to be.
This is about not taking over as Pathfinder?
Didn't think it would still sting. Nasira, your father, even my parents. They leave, I'm left without answers. Nowhere to stand.
I get that. We've all had a lot of disappointments lately.
You're doing well. For having no training, being your second isn't so bad. And if that Remnant tech pays off, maybe someday I'll have roses too.
Yeah, I wish I actually needed a second or had a use for one. Yeah, but now I can get that vintage shield thing. Which, by the way, means the moment you unlock a augment from the research, that particular augment is also unlocked for dropping from random encounters, loot crates, whatever. As soon as you've unlocked it, it can also drop in the world. Which means any that you don't want, don't have a need for, you shouldn't unlock, because it'll essentially fill the loot list with high rarity items that you don't want. So, yeah. Guess I'll unlock that one too. It is, after all, one of my favorite options. Maybe not the best, but definitely one of my favorite ones. And I guess I unlock the chest of it as well. Do I have the materials for it? Silicon, uranium, titanium. Definitely not. Yeah. Arms and neck are also quite nice. But I definitely need to find more stuff for them first. The helmet I won't be using, even though it's once again damage resistance, and the damage resistance easily scales up, and regen speed. I will be using the Helios helmet for probably the entire playthrough. Not so much because of its stats, which are awesome, but primarily because of its looks. With this helmet, I have a helmet that protects the top of my head, protects the back of my head, keeps me protected in melee from punches and weapon strikes, but also leaves my face visible, so that I, as a diplomatic envoy essentially to the galaxy, can show my face to other people without exposing myself to danger at the same time. Or at least to limited amounts of danger. Not sure about this part, or needing this much visor up there. There's a limit to how high up you can still see your hands. Roughly here's where it stops for me. So roughly this would be the area that's needed for a visor. But yeah, whatever. Well, it could also, of course, cover the mouth and nose. Looks like we really need that in Garden stuff. any helmet I can, or weapon I can build. Magnesium, nickel, and vanadium? Iridium? Vanadium. Yeah, nickel and magnesium. Magnesium will be easy to find. Nickel, I think there's an entire planet full of it. Vanadium will be a bit tougher, but luckily we only need very little of it. But yeah, vanadium is the one resource I always lack the most. Can we craft... We could craft one of these with a heat sink. Well, if you're gonna craft, we're not gonna craft a good one. No shield oscillator, a heatsink, and given we do have a couple options. Bonus damage to armor. Automatic is actually really nice for this weapon, but even with that, it's still quite nice. But I think I'm going with the MO-THU extension for now. Actually, let's go with automatic fire. This one should be a nice, solid option. Is it just me, or is there no game sound? There is game sound, my bad. So now we got a better rifle. Yeah. And finally a weapon that doesn't need ammunition.
Where's my data pad? Oh, how'd you go?
Assault rifle, MO-THU. Put in the mods. Definitely the damage. And definitely the penetration. Yeah, MO-THU already has awesome accuracy and stability, so there's no need to improve those.
Suvi, were you talking to your notebook?
Oh, I wasn't I? I do that sometimes.
Yeah. Unfortunately we can't quite craft a chest yet, so... or chest, armor piece, or whatever. Which means we'll leave that planet alone for now. And start scanning. Hopefully by the end of the scanning of all the planets that are available, we'll find some vanadium, maybe some titanium.
Anomaly detected.
That's research data, I think Milky Way?
Probe away. Satellite
Yep.
detected.
If you guys got any questions regarding Mass Effect, either the original 3 parts or Andromeda, I did play all of them a lot. I did read up a lot on the lore. I didn't unfortunately get to read the comics or play any of the games not available for PC. But I'm pretty sure I know the vast majority of the lore and gameplay mechanics of at least the 4 big ones. So if you got any questions, any advice, or simply give me advice, or ask me to do certain things, look into a certain aspect of the game, feel free to go ahead and ask me. Either in the comments below, or in the chat, or whatever. I'm always open for suggestions. After all, without ideas for making and recommendations and feedback for getting better, getting shown where you can improve, it's quite hard to see it yourself.
Anomaly detected.
And after having played so much
Probe away.
and read so much, I am kind of locked into my own kind of thinking, and anything that breaks me out of that is highly welcome. So yeah, even though I seem to already have a straight line to go in and already know everything I wanna do, and meh, Feel free to recommend options to me, to make suggestions to, yeah,
So this is
throw me off my game,
standard Heelys?
if you
Type of a wake-up call.
want to call it that. One of the big reasons I like watching other people play Mass Effect on stream or on YouTube or whatever, is so I can see how they tackle the game, what kind of thought processes they go through in order to decide what skills to use, what abilities to use, what items to use, what mods to use, augments, how they tackle the game, how they handle it, even how they answer the different questions thrown up by the
I'm picking up something.
different missions, events, so on.
Tracking a huge mineral deposit.
Yeah, scanning really gives you quite a bit of materials to start with.
Anomaly on sensors. Deploying probe.
That's probably only experience.
We've got a crater.
Yep. I'm not a big fan of level-based systems. I prefer more fluid ones where you essentially maybe let's leave the experience, the XP as a points thingy you earn for learning stuff in, but instead of making it grant your levels, and then the levels give you points to improve, why not spend the XP directly on stuff to improve? Get rid of the levels, spend the XP directly to improve your strength, your dexterity, your intelligence, your powers, whatever. There are a couple systems that work like that. Both pen and paper role-playing games and actually PC or even MMOs. I think, what's it called? Been a while since I played it. Yeah, I lost the name. Anarchy Online. Anarchy Online is one of the games that doesn't have levels. You simply earn experience and can spend them directly on skills and abilities.
Well,
Let's see what's waiting here.
Attributes, whatever. And it has a system where if you have a fundamental ability and a second one that's linked in, for example rifles and assault rifles, then anything you have in rifles as a general also applies to your assault rifles, at least to some degree. And everything you have in assault rifles applies to, for example, the Medic and the Avenger. So you can specialize and put everything into a single weapon, into a kind of weapon, into an overarching group of similar weapon types, into combat, into firearms in general, into combat in general, or simply into your strength, dexterity, intelligence, and so on. Really flexible system, really in-depth, and rewards both generalization and specialization. Both are highly viable and highly effective. I kind of like that kind of system. Wish more games used it. Of course, not every skill should, not every ability score should apply to everything, single skill you got, and not everything should be based on skills. Some things simply are, some things should be based on your equipment. For example, I don't like games where you have a skill for improving your toughness, your resistance to damage, because a bullet doesn't really care how well trained or how many injuries you already had or something. You can't train your body's ability to resist physical trauma. At best you can train it to resist stuff like poisons, diseases, and that kind of thing, by training your immune system to respond better, or get your experience, your immune system used to different stimuli and diseases and stuff, and therefore essentially prepare it for the other things out there. That's kind of how immunization works. But getting able to resist a sword or a bullet or a plasma bolt better just doesn't happen. Or if it does happen, then you're essentially a Zerg mutating your skin into armor. Yeah. fine for the Zerg, but not so fine for anyone else. Unfortunately, I can't enter the system for the main quest, otherwise I will be triggering the main quest. And I would like to avoid that on this stream. I will be doing that on the next one. Since apparently we are completely locked out of doing anything interesting right now, other than a couple of minor side quests. Yeah. I'll be streaming for probably an hour or so, so another half hour. Doing side quests, scanning the planets here, all that stuff. And then I'll switch back to the normal playing where we were before the main quest.
I'm picking up something.
Yeah. There's a volcano.
Deploying probe. I found something.
On that idea for strategy layer earlier, if they made time something that actually matters in this game, traveling from system to system taking time, traveling from planet to planet taking time, doing missions taking time, and even scouting a planet taking time. For example, dropping a service satellite in orbit, and the longer it stays, the more data you get, which in turn will help you researching, finding resources, whatever. But you don't know ahead of time what you'll find on the planet. There's some aspect of randomization in what resource of the planet that exists you find at that point. So that even if you already know that this planet has X, you may not find X until the very end of the game, or you will find it as the first thing ever. Interesting that we found Azari stuff on what is clearly an Angaran craft. They should update those loot lists. Because I'm pretty sure that at least at this point in the game, the Angara are not using Solarian tech components on their gear. Yeah, if time mattered, and if traveling actually took time, there are so many options for what they could do. It's, yeah, actually quite sad that they didn't. And it would make it so that you actually feel the need to decide, do you have the time to do this mission, or that random event up there that's caused by these strategy layers in deciding that a cat should invade that planet with a bit more force than usual. What do you want to do? That mission has a deadline of a week. That invasion is currently starting, so it's probably several hours to maybe a few days that is the deadline. And that main mission over there, if you don't take that on, then everything else escalates. So that would be really interesting to see. And probably a pain to actually create in a way that's somewhat balanced. If it's too easy to beat back the cat, then there's no need to do the main missions. If it's too hard, then the game isn't fun. Neither is it really fun if it's too easy. And if everything escalates too quickly, yeah, then you're so forced to do the main missions that you don't have the time to actually do any of the side missions. Gene Garson was killed, the founder is dead. And the Asari are blocking out the curriculum. Yep. Sun-ups are coming out, so we'll probably get back that UV light and feel less tired. Which I should actually do in real life. Interesting. Alien is related to a childlike fruit brought back from Habitat 7. Who the frack picked up a cherry from the worstly mutated world in the entire cluster? Yeah. Scourge is being bad. Haven't found anyone else. Got a new colony. Found the first vault. Dead is dead. Yeah, the exiles are still a problem. And we are still looking into things. We finally started rebuilding the Nexus and getting resources again. Careful, remnants are dangerous. Yeah, we got that. Yeah. This one here is actually kinda interesting. Dozens of colonies not too scared to come out of stasis woke up to a glitch in the system. Earlier said that there are so many gaps in the planning and in the redundancies and so on that it feels like someone is trying to sabotage the entire mission. Or at least make it so the mission has a significantly harder time to get started and gets off the ground slower. What if someone came along to make use of that early startup time that's prolonged by quite a while, or even tanked unnecessarily before it starts to get back up, in order to start their own little Andromeda initiative? Except that one isn't sabotaged. Steal a couple shuttles, maybe even during the early chaos of the uprising and so on, blanket the sensors for a time and take off some of the secret equipment you brought on. I'm not sure if that is just a glitch or if there's actually something going on in the background. It certainly sounds like a conspiracy theory at this point, but if you actually played the game, you might recognize some of those ideas. I'm also a big fan of the indoctrination theory for Mass Effect 3, the ending. It explains so much about how the game ended.
But the planet was toxic. What if they store oxygen in... Ah, Pathfinder, the information you gathered is marvelous. You and your Sam, of course.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Hirik. My colleagues and I work directly with Sam, refining your field scans into discoveries to benefit the initiative. Hopefully.
I'm usually out in the field, but I wouldn't mind talking shop, or lab, you know.
You are always welcome.
Indeed. It's thanks to your sterling data gathering that we were able to wrangle this space from Addison.
Keep up the good work, champ.
Hello, Pathfinder. A moment?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
I have a math problem. Some vital equations that only a mind like Sam's could solve. They concern strange transmission patterns in the Scourge. Perhaps random noise, perhaps not.
That could be a ship, or even turbulence in the Scourge we should know about.
Given the complexity and the security implications, I recommend transferring the equations directly into SAM node. I have them on an optical storage disk for you.
I'll see if I have time.
Thank you, Pathfinder. Please thank Sam as well.
Pathfinder, those bioscans are superb. Could you gather more for our comparative conservation effort?
What conservation effort?
Ah, my thesis is on the console there. Broad strokes, we're comparing and preserving organisms from both galaxies. If you donate more bioscans and samples to the catalog, I can get you a finder's fee. Tempted?
Hi, Pathfinder. Want to hit some rocks for science?
Absolutely. What do you need?
Sam and I used your scans and made a VI for geophysics surveys. Beta builds on the console there. Test it out in the field, and I'll wrangle you a consultant's bonus from Director Addison. How's that sound?
Commander. We've had some trouble.
Anything I can help with?
Perhaps. I discharged an away team to get readings from a section of the Scourge that was behaving anomalously. They haven't reported in for some time, and sensors can't locate their shuttle. I sent them out there. Good, dedicated people. I fear what might have happened to them.
Your work is important. Don't lose sight of that. When I'm out there, I'll see if I can find them.
Their friends and family will want to know what's happened, and I need to know.
Yeah. One of the things I really loved about Andromeda when I first played it is actually the concept of power cells. Small devices, probably roughly this size, roughly granites, roughly say golf ball sized or something in that area. Between golf ball and tennis ball, I would assume. They can store a lot of power and have a small power regeneration. Say a tiny fusion reactor and a large capacitor, comparatively large. That can act as a burst power supply or low-level power supply for various devices. Like, for example, a grenade, creating and maintaining a barricade, powering a tripmine, or even stuff like creating an assault turret or this thing, essentially. Stuff like that. And there would even be several options for including that as a story or story plot device, where you need a power core or a certain number of power cores in order to open a door or get a system powered up, power back up so you can get a data or get it to do a certain job for you. There would be a lot of options for that. And especially since I think that essentially all the tech abilities, or at least all the active tech abilities, are just programs on your Omni tool and modifications on your Omni tool so to allow the Omni tool to actually produce those effects. Similarly, half the combat abilities, Omni Grenade, Barricade, Tripmine, these are essentially printed entities, flash fabricated by your Omni tool. They're programs, essentially, that you can use. You run the program, get the device, and then use the device however you like. In this case, slap it on the ground and you get a barricade, get a localized force field around you. 1/3 circle in front of you, that's just high enough to crouch behind. But still, yeah. That kind of concept, I would really have loved if they had gone with that completely instead of making one power cell type per skill, essentially given the skill's uses. Or skill-specific ammunition. Similarly with weapons, they are all using the thermal clips, and according to the wiki and the lore, thermal clips are standardized. You can use a pistol thermal clip in your assault rifle, no issue. So your ammunition reserve, your clip size is depending on the weapon, sure, definitely. Then there you have your power cell in there, and your thermal clip in there, and depending on how much heat you produce, the thermal clip only lasts for a certain time. That's weapon specific. But the maximum amount of ammunition you take along shouldn't be weapon specific. You take a certain amount of thermal clips with you, and can then use these thermal clips with any weapon you have equipped. And how many shots you get out of that depends on which weapons you use it on. I also dislike the fact that they intend to make all weapons equal. A pistol is definitely not as strong as an assault rifle, and it should never be.
What's the trouble?
I've got power shortages throughout the station. I can't for the life of me find the cause. Oh, whoa, you're the Pathfinder. Hey, sorry, please ignore me. You've got way more important things to do.
Power to the Nexus is pretty important. I'm happy to help.
That's great, because I'm at a loss. There are obvious short circuits cropping up all over the place. Pathfinder's eye might reveal something.
There's a power short here. We could scan the area.
Our Nexus, our lives. Our Nexus, our lives.
That doesn't sound pleasant down there. Let's go down and look into it. Yeah, that doesn't look like anything I like. What's going on?
Hey, Pathfinder.
You're with the militia, right? What's going on in there?
A crowd of people in hydroponics and they won't leave.
They're disrupting operations, might get nasty. Can you talk to them?
Clan before cronies.
Hey, what's going on?
That's your new galaxy. Making speeches about some fresh start while your kids stay frozen.
And it's all thanks to your Pathfinder.
Excuse me?
We've waited months for our families to come out of stasis. They should have gone to your outpost. But because you wanted military personnel, people tagged as scientific support have to wait. Again.
All the reassignments mean they're in 10 different colony blocks now.
And my mother just got caught in the middle.
We only had resources for one outpost, so I focused on the skills we needed most.
Well, your pick has my grandchildren trapped in that pod.
Maybe you could still make this right. I just want Mom out of stasis. That's all anyone here wants.
You do stasis revivals. You can tell our leaders you're opening those pods. Today.
I authorize whole colony blocks or a few emergency revivals. I can't wake dozens of random people.
We don't care whose finger pushes the button. If you can't, our leaders can. And if you tell them, they will.
Okay, I'll talk to the leadership about what we can do.
14 months of promises. It's time for some results.
We tried petitioning Addison. She ignored us. Screw her.
Start with Kandros. He sent those 10 soldiers over there. Maybe he'll take us seriously.
Yeah. Protesting in the middle of hydroponics, the oxygen supply for the station.
Look, Jonesy.
Not liking that. Actually, before I do anything here. Let's go to the bar.
That's your flag, everyone. That's Prodromos.
Another one! Damn it! This is supposed to be the chemistry lab. My chemistry lab. You all keep crawling out of the woodwork like space cockroaches.
You say that, Dutch, but here you are, pouring people drinks.
Hi. I'm standing right here.
They're guinea pigs, damn it. Chemists should have guinea pigs. Not have their labs taken over by people giving them things and being nice.
Bad people giving you free things and helping you set up. So inconsiderate.
Right? They keep bringing things. Tables and chairs and this bar and lights. Wait, you're making fun of me, aren't you?
Don't let Dutch put you off. He's a sweetie, really.
I'm not.
And the drinks are good.
Damn right they are. I mean... yeah. I'm a dirty squirrel.
At least he takes pride in his job, even if that's not quite what he wanted to do.
Hey, I was wondering if you could help me out. It's for the good of the bar.
Lay it on me.
So, folks try and help and all, but we have a limited pool of ingredients. Keep an eye out for anything interesting we could use for new drinks, and we'll let you test them for free.
So, Dutch gets ingredients and the guinea pig he wanted, huh?
Exactly. Win-win all around.
Yep. So, yeah.
Tell our leaders, wake the sleepers.
Sure. Let me know what materials you need and I'll find it.
Hello there.
Hi.
Let's double check. A double mod. And a kinetic coil. This one is one of the most important mods in my opinion, in the game. And this one is a close second. But I'm pretty sure that even if I were to sell everything I don't need, actually, there are certain materials I can sell. Not these. These. But that's just 44 credits. That's not worth it. Oh, we got a ton of salvage. That you can definitely sell. Remnant polymer. Too rare. Well, we do have a good amount, and we will get good amounts in the future. Yeah. I'm not yet willing to sell that. If you got 1,000, then sure, everything above 1,000 gets sold. Omega canisters, we only have 150, a bit over, but if you had 500, I would sell up to 250 or something. But at least 200 we should have. Unfortunately, we don't yet have the other stuff here. I definitely won't be selling any of that. But I could sell some iron. Selling 100 iron would be another 400. Selling, say, how much would you need to get this one? 2.6k. That's essentially the entire iron supply we got. Either throw in a 50. Fluoride. Actually, that could work. Well, this will take a while. I always only sell 400 for now. Need some reserves in order to be able to craft without issues. Is someone else a faster way of setting this number? I would highly welcome it. Yep. Got that. Kinetic coils and double mod slot thingy. Majingi. And we still got enough for combo damage optimizer, which is also one of the better options. Sorry. Yeah. So let's get to ops and talk with the leaders.
A violent illness related to cherry-like fruit brought back from Habitat 7.
Though I have to admit, the policy they have for whom they are waking up when from cry and how they put them into cry in the first place, not a big fan of that. I would have grouped people by what I call a social group. Their family, their friends, essentially whoever they are closely related with and kind of need one to be woken up with in order to be mentally stable, emotionally stable, and not riot and stuff. So having people grouped into social groups and only woken as the full social group. So, for example, a family, you don't wake the mother without waking the children, or the brother without waking the sister or anything like that. Any social group you wake as a whole or keep sleeping as a whole. Therefore, when you recruit, you focus on social groups of one, essentially single people. Ideally of biologically fertile age and reproductive age and whatever, but yeah. that way. When you wake people, you wake them as a group. They got all the people they want awake around with them. They have an emotional support around them, and yeah, I see absolutely no reason to wake them any other way. But apparently, waking them nilly-willy and randomly, more or less, seemed to be a good idea for some people. 44%, anything below 50% chance I will not take. Just in case you're wondering why I ignored some of those missions. Rhodium, uranium, nice, good materials. Talk with the leaders.
Glad to see you finally. I hear you've been busy out there.
That's one word for it.
If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
I need to talk to you about stasis revival and those protesters in hydroponics.
I see. Maybe I should get the others for this.
You should.
Protesters have seized hydroponics?
They want their families out of stasis. The outpost on Eos disrupted the schedule. They're scattered across colony blocks. Dozens of people. The protesters want this fixed today.
The realities of our position are...
We can't wake those families. We don't have the resources, and there's nowhere to put them.
We only just got on our feet. Plus it messes up the schedule again. What do you suggest?
Leave the families in stasis where it's safe and get those protesters out of hydroponics. They seem sympathetic, but so did the exiles. We can't risk another revolt. Survival is more important than family reunions.
Yeah, I fully agree, but I also think it shouldn't be one or the other. You should have planned to have both.
What would you do with the protesters?
I'd send in a squad and march them out. At gunpoint if we must. If they resist, a few might land in medbay, but it's better than losing hydroponics. Or the Nexus.
I'm also surprised you only got one hydroponics bay. It's a 15-kilometer station.
We're all pioneers. Even civilians are tough enough to start something.
And interfering in hydroponics threatens our oxygen supply. They know that.
We have to look at the bigger picture. Get them out of there.
Kandros?
I'll send in a team, but it might go smoother if Ryder's there.
A good idea. Sometimes we have to give bad news. That's a Pathfinder's duty, too.
Superintendent Kent reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand.
This is a nightmare.
Tracking enemy. Hey, Ryder, I'd like a moment. Apex leaders notified.
Yes? Lieutenant Syax, right?
That's me. I'm putting together Apex strike teams to protect the people and assets you're setting up out there. We don't have a good sense of what we're up against, and could benefit from your experience.
I'll have Sam upload our insights on the Ket, Remnant, and outlaw forces we've encountered.
Thanks. You'll see. Apex will make a difference.
It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, you're... So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
What exactly was he convicted of?
They don't exile you for petty theft. Well, maybe this bunch would. They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have... There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit.
Yeah.
Please.
Like no wife believed her husband innocent. Ever.
Message from intelligence. Requesting armor cam footage.
Scan and trace the wiring to locate the panel that the saboteur used.
Residents are still mourning the loss of Chief Garson, and the initiative founder was killed.
Pathfinder, I received the data from Sam. It really is sabotage.
Any idea as to who it might be?
Yeah. All these panels were worked on by Zara. I just can't believe it.
Security video logs confirm that Zara Kellis worked on these panels, as well as the one Raj Patil encountered.
Well,
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanted to chat with you.
The Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
I'm not here to exile you. Told your wife I'd look into things.
At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
So when he was killed, people assumed you did it?
For good reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Sounds like an accident.
That's what I told them, but I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
I'll check out the evidence. Maybe something doesn't add up.
It'd be nice to have someone with an open mind looking at it. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
I will look into it, but I'm not so hopeful right now.
Thanks for understanding. About the outpost and the protesters.
You don't strike me as the political type.
I'm not. Just pro keeping everyone alive. Maybe those protesters will eventually understand too. It's done. I don't want to think about it. Need something else?
I spoke with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
So there was a trial, and he was found guilty.
It was short and decisive. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
That is the difference between murder and accidental death.
In this case, motive plus opportunity plus eyewitness account equals murder. Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder. The Nexus versus Colonist Nilken, evidence 7A.
Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation! We're not giving up, Nilken. We're taking it back. No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to... No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Yeah. He is certainly not looking good right now. Oh, there's another quest back there. That one.
How many times have I told you this story?
Pathfinder, I believe you found the culprit responsible for the power shortages.
Alert Professor Herrick to come secure it.
No reason to kill it. It seemed comparatively harmless. But skill is always good. And that's 6 points. And that's 4 points. I'm really split on this one. Here I'm really taking reach, no question about it. But here, radius from 1.5 to 3 meters. Yeah. I really want to hit as many people as possible with that, or targets, whatever. And an unlocked barrier, very nice. Take it. I need that one as freaking fast as possible. This one is awesome, but not for my build. Whenever there's anyone affected by my biotic abilities, I'm having 40% bonus shields. I only have Shockwave as a biotic ability. That isn't all that much. This one's definitely great, no question about it. As is, of course, this one. Anything that reduces the delay is great. The regeneration speed itself doesn't really matter all that much, but the delay, that is what gets you killed. Because even if you have only a single shield point remaining and get hit by a bullet that, let's say, 100 damage, you only take enough damage to break your shields and the rest of the damage is discarded. If it was a bolt, if it was a burst, that did multiple points of damage. Or it was an elemental effect that's covering an area and therefore applies regularly in that area, then sure, you're screwed. The first instance kills your shield and the next instance hurts your hit points. But getting those shields back up means no matter how many shield points you have, you're at least protected against one hit. At least that's how it was in the earlier parts, and I'm pretty sure it's how it is here as well. In addition, these three, the first three, of any of the passive skills in any of the trees, get more powerful the more points I have invested in the entire group. As I level Shockwave, I will also automatically increase my maximum shields from now on. And later on I will increase my regen delay reduction and regen rate. Yeah. Here I'm going with this one. I need to spam the ability as often as possible. And here I'm definitely going with Detonator. I need all combo radiuses. I'm throwing around so many of them, having them affect a bigger area will really help. Back here, I'm not entirely sure. Either one works for me. I think this one might be a bit more interesting because it improves my damage for a couple seconds after throwing the shockwave. But yeah. It's 3 seconds. That's usually a couple shots. So yeah, it might actually be worth it. Probably even more worth it than this one because I'm throwing a shockwave, then I have to wait for the cooldown of the shockwave, and during that time, the next biotic ability takes, or other biotic abilities do more damage. I'm not having other ones, so yeah, this one. For sure. Containment. Area of effect, definitely. All combo damage with the shields. With a mod that adds shields to all enemies, this one is definitely gonna happen. More biotic area of effect. Yeah, this one. Definitely. Hitting even more enemies. Yep, accepted. On tech, I'm going with support. While my squad mates are decent. Actually, not sure. I think I may actually go with the squad offense. Simply because I do want my squad mates to do something at least. And I know that my constructs, they do a significant amount of damage. My turret, for example. Especially in the more confusing fights, or the longer ones. They do quite some damage. And they'll keep doing damage while I'm being in cover, even if I have to rethrow my turret somewhere, redeploy it. It'll keep doing damage even if I have to stay in cover and recharge my shields, regen my hit points, whatever. And here's definitely recovery, no question about it. Revive is such a rare occurrence. Not gonna waste anything on that. And even if they do go down, I usually end the fight without reviving them, and then they wake up automatically. Or I have all the time in the world to revive them. Either case, that's rare. This one, however, always applies. And here, more resistance per ally. This is particularly good with a minion build. For example, if you have both the turret and the other unknown ability. That's 2 minions. Then you have 2 squad mates. That's 24 damage resist right there, if they're all in range. However, your 2 minions, your squad mates, usually run around a lot. So it's rare for them to be within 8 meters. And your unknown ability tends to move around a bit, and your turret might not be next to you, so that's situational. This one, however, always is great. Whenever I use attack power, the user and nearby squads and constructs gain health regen. 2.5 times regen speed and regenerate up to 50% hit points. Once every 8 seconds. So, yeah. And that's definitely great right there. I'm going with anti-armor. Armored enemies are the bigger threat in general. And my tech abilities already do shield bonus damage, and the combos will do bonus damage against shields due to the biotic stuff. So armor is definitely what I'm gonna go for. While synthetics are a large number of enemies, I'm doing so many tech explosions, that's worth it. 30% damage bonus for 5 seconds after using attack power. Or anyone affected by heat, cold, or electricity. No, anyone under attack power takes bonus damage from heat, cold, and electricity. Not gonna do that. This one it is. Bonus damage again after using a weapon. After using a tech skill. And I'm spamming the energy drain. So, yeah. Auxiliary. Priming rate. If I keep the turret, and I'm going for the beam later on, then definitely. This one is an ice beam, and it takes, or ice shots, and it takes a while for the shots to actually apply their frost priming to the target. Same with the flamethrower, but I'm going for the frost. It takes a while until the target actually gets frosted, so yeah. For that, priming would be awesome. It's also awesome for if you use the consumable weapon powers. The Inferno armor, the Disruptor armor, and the Cryo armor. For those, it's also great. For anything else, I would probably go for the weight reduction. Duration, definitely. My tech abilities don't have an area of effect, so that does nothing. But they do have a duration. And one of the durations is duration for shield restore, which has 4 seconds and restores once per second. So with a 25% increase, that's 5 seconds, so I get an additional tick for regen. That's definitely worth it. Improves all regen charts by 50% when attack power is used once per 15 seconds. Since I'm spamming energy drain that would reduce the cooldown on my minion and shockwave. Definitely a good idea. Though only once per 15 seconds and I'm spamming the energy drain roughly 2 or 3 times as fast. But yeah, roughly 2 times as fast. Or my shield regen starts immediately whenever I use attack power. Kinda crap. Usually it's great, but I'm using the only attack power I'm using regularly is energy drain, and that already recharges my shields. And as far as I noticed, I need to double check that definitely. I'm not entirely sure, but if anything recharges your shields, your delay gets skipped and your shields keep recharging. But I'm not entirely sure on that one, so this one might still be viable. But yeah, I have so many abilities to recharge my shields. I'm pretty sure the cooldown is actually more effective for my particular build. This one gets another I read it all. Yeah, I know I didn't level my minions. Let's quickly do that. That should be fairly easy. 2 points. Yep, do more ouch with your powers. Do more ouch with your powers. More health, delay reduction and regen. And do more weapon damage. Do more ouch. And hit a bigger area with the Nova. Yeah, whatever. So, I got the Saboteur to go for, I got the Protesters to go for. Got a couple things in other systems to go for. I guess it's time to go to the habitation deck. Actually, the cryo deck first. The cryo bay. Because there was also Sam asking me to talk with my brother, or someone telling me to talk with my brother. So, yeah.
Once we gather a few more colonists, we'll be taking you over to the Nexus. You'll need to clear immigration.
I'll make it right, Dash. I promise.
Harry, what's happening with Scott?
Well, we got him out of the pod. I don't want to get your hopes up, but Sam managed to, find him, you might say.
I don't follow.
Well, he's still in a coma, but he also has an implant like yours, and Sam managed to access it. He's made contact.
I wouldn't think that's even possible.
You and me both, but Sam, well, I guess supercomputers have a different view of things.
Though in a coma, Scott's mental processes remain intact.
So is he okay?
You can ask him yourself. A moment while I establish a link with his implant. Proceed.
Scott? Can you hear me?
Is that you, sis? I don't understand. What's happening?
There was a problem with your stasis pod. You're in a coma on the Hyperion. Do you understand?
Wow, really? How are we talking?
Sam linked into your implant, but they say you're stable. You're safe and sound in the medbay.
Guess I'll take your word for it. I can't feel anything, but I still hear you. Is Dad okay?
Yeah, key decision. Telling the truth or lying?
He's away on a mission right now. I know he's worried about you, though.
Yeah, sure he is. I'm probably just lost luggage to him by now.
You're wrong. He cares.
Well, at least he's barking orders at you and not me.
Yeah.
So how's her new home? Does Habitat
live up to the hype?
Should he wake up without me here, he needs to know.
There's been some complications. The Golden Worlds didn't exactly deliver.
Well, that's rough. But we knew it could happen. That's why we brought Dad, right? Find us a place to live.
He's on it.
Damn, I need to be there helping you guys.
You will, and you're going to love it. There's a new discovery every day.
Just as long as we find home. Once I get over the small case of the coma, I'm on it. You're not getting all the credit.
Small
Better
case
hurry.
of coma.
Tell Dad.
What happened?
The connection was only temporary. His condition remains stable.
Sorry, it seemed better than nothing. I'll keep you posted, promise.
Thanks, Harry.
Yeah. We are closing in 1.5 hours. Let's quickly finish the quests here and call this episode done.
Causing unending daylight in some Nexus quarters. This is HNS.
You, Pathfinder. I have a word or two for you.
Is there a problem?
Your father is my problem. He's everyone's problem. We're all paying for Alec Ryder's ego. He preyed on Jean Garson's trusting nature and bulldozed us to this godforsaken place. Now she's dead, and we'll all soon follow.
This might be my dad's mess, but I will clean it up.
Talk about ego. You're no different from him. You think you could do this all yourself. Go to hell, Pathfinder.
Yeah. Let's take care of Sammy Boy first.
Ryder, the blocks your father placed on my array are opening. I can now recall specific memories, which Alec wanted you to see.
Wait, I can actually see his memories?
Yes, you will experience them via your implant.
Okay, something new every day. Let's see it.
This memory is from the time when your father was posted on the Citadel.
Alec, your recommendations will never fly. Artificial intelligence?
It's our best option.
If the Council gets wind of this, it'll set humanity standing back decades. You're overreaching.
Ambassador Goyle, I'm the military attaché on the Citadel. My mandate is clear. Find an edge for Earth.
And AI is your answer?
We need to catch up. The Asari, the Solarians, they're centuries ahead of us.
But it's illegal.
Their rules,
Really?
not ours. Why deny Earth an advantage?
Define this advantage.
It will set us free. We're prisoners of our own five senses. There's a reality greater than ours that we can't perceive, but an AI can.
Bad sales pitch.
By augmenting our own abilities and adding a few new ones.
Well, none of that stopped those Geth from revolting.
Because they were separate from their creators. But AIs and humans interface directly, experiencing the world together, benefits both. There's no creator to revolt against.
I'm sorry, Alec. We can't take the risk. I appreciate your work, but your request will be denied.
Alec?
Ellen, What did the doctor say?
He told me to appreciate the time I have left. There's no cure, Alec. It's terminal.
Not on my watch.
Wow, hearing Mom again. I never knew that's how Dad found out.
Alec was a stubborn man.
It's how Dad was wired. He didn't like to lose. In any situation.
It would seem that included me.
Nobody wanted to listen. The idea of you scared people too much. After this, Dad moved us back to Earth to care for Mom. Wonder why he wanted me to see this.
Perhaps it was the beginning.
Of what?
Unknown. Private audio logs are now available in your father's quarters. I detect additional memories, but they are currently locked. They may yet hold answers.
Okay, I'll keep working on it. What are your capabilities?
Each arc houses a SAM, Simulated Adaptive Matrix. Each is an artificial intelligence designed by Alec Ryder to support Pathfinders and their teams.
But AI is illegal in the Milky Way. How'd my dad get around that?
Exceptions were made. The initiative deemed his research vital to the mission. Our design was conducted in secret.
So there are other Sams out there?
Correct. However, your father continued to modify my own routines until the Hyperion's departure. I am the most advanced Sam in the initiative.
I take it you're based here in Sam Node?
Correct. This is where my core processing unit resides. However, using quantum entanglement communication, I remain in constant touch with you and the Pathfinder mission team, even over great distances.
What more can you tell me about my implant?
The implant itself provides me with direct access to your senses. I can see, hear, and experience the same stimuli you do while in the field. This raw data enables me to provide real-time feedback and analysis of the situation.
Then Dad added the secret sauce.
You removed the restrictions on my access to Pathfinder physiology.
Uh-huh. Just promise you won't fry my brain or anything?
Trust is an important concept in any relationship. Alec taught me that. I will not fry your brain. It would end badly for both of us.
Me more than you. Do you know anything more about Scott's condition?
I monitor Dr. Carlisle's reports. He is providing Scott with the very best care possible. I'm afraid there is nothing more to be done at this time.
What did he mean by a symbiotic relationship?
Symbiosis is a mutually beneficial relationship between two life forms. A flower provides nectar to a bee, who in turn provides pollen for the flower. The bee gains nourishment, and the flower can propagate. In similar fashion, my own evolution was shaped by your father's experiences, and will now expand with yours. In return, I provide you with capabilities and analysis beyond normal human faculties. We each benefit.
That's all for now.
Of course. Welcome back, Ryder.
Dr. Aradana at the tech lab sent some equations for you to solve.
I'm ready.
Transferring them now. Have fun.
Doesn't look like fun.
Hey, what the? Sam?
Malicious code detected. Please stand by.
Sam?
Attempting to countermand malicious code. Please stand by.
Is there anything I can do? Sam? Is that another malfunction, or... Sam? You trying to show me something? Okay, I think I got it. Sam, talk to me.
Hello, Pathfinder. Please initialize the console to restore normal operations.
Sam, what happened?
The equations contained a Trojan horse program, a virus, specifically targeted to sever our connection and render me helpless. Reconnecting would be impossible.
You'd need a crack AI programmer to create a virus like that.
Yes. Only my unique adaptions prevented permanent damage.
Unlock the door. Let's head to the tech lab and see what Dr. Aradana has to say.
Yep, but not first. First, look into Dad's quarters. See what he has to offer. A memory trigger.
Another eidetic trigger, Sam?
Yes, though my memory array remains locked. Additional triggers are required.
What's on here, Sam?
Your father's personal logs. Several of them are encrypted.
The day is finally here. We're pushing off from Earth. We'll jump through a few relays first, then we hunker down for the long trip across dark space. It's daunting thinking about all the hopes and dreams aboard the Hyperion. I certainly have my own. I wasn't the husband or father I should have been. Here's hoping 600 years can change a man. Sam, this is a reminder about Dr. Liara Tassoni. She's an Asari archaeologist I corresponded with a few years back. She's got experience studying ancient cultures. Make sure the team gets her research. Could be useful in Andromeda.
Liara Tassoni, huh? She studied the Protheans. When my team used to dig up artifacts, we'd debate her work. She had some pretty controversial theories, as I recall. Never gained much traction.
I have loaded Dr. Tassoni's research onto datapads.
Hello, Alec. This is Dr. Tassoni. I'm flattered you contacted me. Most scientists dismiss my work, but I'm young and Asari, and they are getting older. So we will see who has the final word. In the meantime, I'm happy to pass along my research. I hope your team finds it useful. Hello, Alec. I received your message. I must say the thought of exploring another galaxy has my head spinning. I am honestly not sure how people could survive a trip like that. And anyway, I could not bear to leave the Milky Way behind. There is so much about the Protheans I still hope to learn here. So much potential wisdom to tap. I wish you much good luck and future success.
Dunn's agreed to a scouting mission on Habitat 7. I'm gearing up now. I'm worried about Scott. Dr. Tapero says he'll be fine, but he's my son. How can I not worry? I hate to leave him like this. It's these moments when you wish you told your children you love them more often. Or ever. Which brings me to the tough part. Kids, if anything happens to me, there are things you're gonna find out. I hope you'll understand.
There's no cryptic or anything.
Amazing how life can change in an instant. Suddenly my career doesn't matter. This incredible woman I've been married to all these years. She's facing the end. All I think about are the times I wasn't there for her. Well, that's going to change. It occurs to me that Sam might be more than I ever imagined.
That log is not currently accessible. Unlocking my memory array may enable it.
I am Dr. Liara Tassoni, and I've spent several decades researching ancient Protheans. It is common knowledge that the Protheans were an advanced race that flourished in the Milky Way about 50,000 years ago, then went extinct. Even at the time of this writing, the year 2182, their culture remains a mystery. During my studies, I have developed some practices that can be used when analyzing any ancient culture. I hope they may prove useful for the research community. When studying a dead race, the most obvious problem is the lack of an observable population. This raises the question, when is a species truly extinct? The Prothean civilizations spanned the galaxy, and it took centuries to confirm that all members of the species really had died out. While it's possible that living Protheans may be found in a hidden pocket of the galaxy one day, the chances are statistically trivial. Once an extinction is confirmed,
the study's nature moves from sociology to exoarchaeology.
The coffee machine Mom got for Dad. He was so busy designing you. Needed the caffeine.
I did not realize I owed my existence to a being.
And now you know what humility feels like.
Your father's first sidearm, a memento of his early Alliance service.
I bet that saw plenty of action.
Alec's first kill occurred in combat during the First Contact War.
Back when Turians were the enemy. Crazy times.
When studying an extinct race, it is important that our preconceptions and current knowledge not color the facts. We must look to the evidence itself. The Protheans constructed the Citadel and an incredible network of mass effect relays. This speaks to a culture of the highest order. Such a monumental achievement surely must come from an enlightened race that was in harmony with its people, free of conflict and strife. Without the ability to study a living example, however, this can never be determined with 100% accuracy.
Oh, you will laugh me, the Prothean.
Printed books?
Reproductions of Lewis and Clark's journals, detailing their expedition in the 19th century.
Explains Dad's interest. They were Pathfinders too.
Yeah, enlightened race. And quite similar to the Romans. In almost every aspect.
Zara Kellis?
Yes?
I have evidence you've been sabotaging the Nexus.
What? No, I'd never... I've been looking into this myself. I have the scans to prove it. Here. I'll transfer the scans I took to your Omni-tool.
Funny. Raj was investigating the same thing, and it led us to you.
My scans point at Raj as the one. So unless someone was setting us both up, I just don't understand.
The data Miss Kellis has accumulated is strangely similar to Mr. Patel's. A third party seems likely.
Looks like someone is using both you and Raj to cover their tracks.
They need pretty high-level access for that. Still, it's better than thinking Raj could have done this. But it means all the data I have is useless. Wish I had access to the security cams. I bet we could find something there.
You stay put, so whoever did this doesn't realize we're onto them. I'll check out the security cams. Raj, you there?
Yes. How did it go? Is it really her?
Wasn't her. She had proof pointing at you. I figure someone's been messing with you both. Just keep a low profile and don't talk to anyone. I'm on it.
Construction and repairs continue on various parts of the Nexus. Authorities have no word on completion and remind visitors
This file is useless. Let's check another. And another scrambled file.
Coincidence seems unlikely.
Let's check another. This file is also corrupted. Definitely not a coincidence. You'd need pretty high clearance to mess with the security camera files. Somebody working for Kandros, maybe.
That is the most probable scenario.
Think you can get enough out of the files to find a match using biometric scans, Sam?
The files were badly scrambled, but if I combine all the available identifiers, it might work. Based on the limited information available, we are looking for a human male, assigned either to the Nexus or Hyperion. You will need to conduct scans from close proximity.
Got it.
Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics. Security is investigating.
Biometrics do not match. This person is not a match.
All personnel, be aware of any suspicious activity. Security is on high
Pathfinder, maybe you can clear this up.
How can I help?
My friend Jory was on EOS the first go-round, barely survived. Now they want him to go back.
They're saying the conditions are improved, that it's safe now, is it?
We'll be dealing with threats on EOS for a while. If you're still recovering from your experiences, best stay on Nexus.
You see, Lana? I told you. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll do that.
All personnel, be aware of any suspicious activity. Security is on heightened alert.
Pathfinder? Wow. I'm Davis Carr, Helios News Service. Maybe you've heard my voice over the vids. I'm trying to file a story right now, but hey.
HNS, huh? Where are the rest of you?
I had an editor, but it's crazy out here. Now, beyond a freelancer or two, I'm it. All that stands between freedom and tyranny. Or something. I haven't had much sleep.
Who pays for you to do this?
Technically, HNS is an arm of the initiative, but we serve the public, not them. Sometimes the higher-ups try and tell us what to broadcast, Tan especially, but we decide what to run and how to run it. It causes friction, but at least I can live with myself.
Were you a journalist back in the Milky Way?
I was. Sort of. Only had a couple internships under my belt. Good places, though. The New Star Chronicle even sent me to Mars for a week. The plan was just to work as a reporter out here. Then the uprising happened. We got a little too close. My editor was killed. Tan blamed our broadcasts for stirring unrest. It was bullshit. Now all I want to do is keep going.
It must be difficult to set up a broadcast from scratch.
No, it's easy. Beyond the lack of staff, resistant authorities, and constant technical glitches. Still, I'm getting there. May have an honest-to-goodness source in Nexus Security, if she ever calls me back.
Who's your source?
No journalist worth their salt will ever give that up.
I met another journalist, Carrie Tavessa.
Yeah, we're running Carrie's series, Path of a Hero. Good stuff. I'm mostly on my own, so pretty much anyone who brings me news is welcome. Content is king, and her content is really touching a nerve.
Talk to you later, Davis.
Hey, Ryder, before you go, I hate to ask, but it seems like your job takes you all over, the places we can't broadcast yet. If I send receivers to your ship, would you mind placing them on some planets? It'll help get news out to even the most far-flung colonists.
Okay, Davis. I'll help you get set up.
Great. Just place a receiver near an outpost, and they'll get our reports.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand.
It's you. You're the human Pathfinder. I'm Sid, Vetra's sister. Vetra's told me all about you. Well, not all about you, but the important bits. I should probably get back to work.
It was real nice meeting you, though.
What work do you do here?
Oh, I just monitor comms from colonists. Progress updates, hazards encountered. Note it down, pass on a report to Sean at the end of the day.
Important job.
I know. It's nice to hand in a report and have someone say I helped.
I'll let you get back to work.
Okay. Saboteur. And I think then we're done here. Oh, and the protesters, my bad. So yeah, let's take care of the saboteur first, then the protesters, and then end the stream for now. Take another short break, and then get back to the actual good stuff.
Scan results show a partial positive.
Dale Atkins, right? We need to talk.
Look, not to be rude, but I have work to do.
Is that what sabotage is called these days? Work?
You're pretty arrogant for the new kid. You don't even know what's been going on.
Proof says you've been up to no good.
Figures. Screw this. Screw all you hypocrites on this station. You weren't here when they kicked out our loved ones. Mutiny? We just wanted answers. My sister is out there. I don't even know if she's alive or...
I'm sorry for what happened, but setting explosives isn't the answer.
Neither was sending people into exile because they didn't agree with policy. I don't care what you think. The mutiny leaders were right to demand to know what was going on.
You could have hurt people. Killed them.
Like those who got killed when the leadership had the Krogan stomp on my friends? I'm done talking. I confess, it was me. Do whatever you want.
Not my call. The Nexus leaders will make that decision.
That lot make a decision? That'll be the day.
That's saboteur taken care of. Then give the Milky Way samples to the bar and break up that protest. Or the other way around.
Just stand down, ma'am.
Or you'll shoot me.
Yep.
Good luck explaining that to my grandchildren.
What happened?
She was about to disconnect the water hoses, threaten all the plants.
They're saying the leaders won't wake our families. Well, this is how far we're willing to go. Their move.
I know this is hard, but for the good of the Nexus, we need you to be patient.
We've already waited. How old will I be by the time Mom's out of stasis?
Take it easy, kid. The Pathfinder's got a point.
I'll go off station if I have to. I'll find anyone who'll actually do something.
You want your mom to wake up and find you exiled? Or dead?
Reese, don't. Anything's better than that. Even the longest wait of our lives.
When our families hear about this...
They'll probably agree with the Pathfinder. You're done here. Come on.
And another level up. Nice. Doing these side quests really paid out so far. Got what? 3 levels so far? 4?
Wow, where did you find those? Never mind, don't answer that. I think they're straight from the Milky Way.
Okay, I do need a couple skills here just to unlock the other profile. But I'm not quite sure what to take yet. And I think for now it would be more beneficial to actually focus on the skills I'm using. Yeah, I think I need to save points this time, so that next time I'm getting closer to these two. Actually, let's buff this one a bit. Just so it stays around a little bit longer. And get me some shields. %, huh? And leave it at that. Then I got 1 point, 4 points from the next level, that's 5, and that I can upgrade the shockwave again. Not enough points? I'm pretty sure that no one has enough points, yeah. Oh yeah, I needed to talk with the doc what's up with the sabotage of Sam. Not happy about having Sam sabotaged. Not happy at all.
Wouldn't it be more practical to build these vaults in the surface?
Welcome, Pathfinder. Did Sam solve the equations I sent?
Solve them? They almost brought down Sam Node.
The equations contained a virus designed to target artificial intelligence.
You think Never. I abhor violence against any life, organic or synthetic.
Then how did the virus find its way into your equations?
Perhaps my files were altered or replaced. But why?
I've seen a lot of down with AI sentiment lately. Graffiti, complaints to 10. Perhaps someone took the next step.
Why would anyone hate artificial intelligence?
Synthetic life has different needs and motivations. It can be mysterious and powerful. Many fear what is not understood.
If graffiti is the best they can do, maybe they could use some artificial intelligence.
Entire species were driven into exile by AI they created, champ. That leaves a mark.
Attacking Sam is bold, though. I wonder if there have been similar incidents.
The AI kiosk was busted this morning.
I can look around.
Okay, nearest AI to here, other than Sam, is most likely the usually blue lady down here.
Artificial intelligence is a threat to all organic life. Why not ask for more details? The Hannibal VI on Earth's moon killed dozens of elite soldiers. Imagine what it could do to your family.
Yeah, and the Shepherd stepped in, stopped it, and it became ED and then helped save humanity.
Detecting Pathfinder Ryder.
Hi there. Excuse the educational stuff. I hacked a Venus, a sock puppet. So, our virus set you free. Hope you're doing better without that AI jammed into your head.
Who am I talking to right now?
A friend. Our movement sent the virus to save you.
Pathfinder, it's possible they don't realize their virus failed. Pretending that it worked might win their trust.
Hello? Ryder?
The disconnect was very sudden. I'm grateful, just woozy.
It'll pass. See, this is what our movement's all about stopping. Knight says human AI merging is a threat to all life. She'd know, trust me. Oh, Knight's our founder. The virus wouldn't exist without her.
I should thank Knight in person.
I'll ask her. She might even give you a tour of our sanctuary.
Great, thanks.
Can't promise anything, but what's your email? Bye.
A whole movement of AI-hating hackers with a leader called Knight.
She and her followers seem to have experience with human-AI partnership.
If they attacked you, they're capable of anything. I'll check my email. We need to find them.
Nothing new here. Okay, and this is where we end it for today. Or at least for this stream. I might be back later on. If I am, I will continue the main story, so we actually unlock more areas to go to. But I think, yeah. Actually, will I? Yeah, most likely will be back later on. We now got 2300 my time. 15 past, but whatever. So let's say at midnight in 45 minutes. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Gives me some time to relax, chill out, clear my mind, and then get back into the game. Yeah, so see you all in 45 minutes with the main story then again. And yeah, this episode will be labeled as episode 4B or something. It's essentially an intermission episode. And next one we'll continue the actual storyline. So thank you all very much for watching, and see you all next time in 45 minutes or in a couple of days on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and until then. Signing off.